How are you?
Hi. Oh, good, thank you. How are you, Nita?
For me, it's a gift to talk to you because I have nothing but the utmost respect for your work when I met you. And I really wish, honestly, that I lived next to you so that every time I get more and more knowledge. And I'm not just talking about the scientific part, but when I met you, you had all this knowledge about homeopathy and herbs and oils and you're more than that. You're not just into, you know, the 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 electromagnetic, the frequencies and all that basic stuff. And that's one thing. And I love how you run your operations with the Hopopono. I love that because it's something that I subscribe to. And when I saw that in your offices and
Mm.
everything, I knew this is what, because you are one of the kind of souls I know. What you do is for the improvement of humanity and the animal kingdom. You're doing it from your heart. And that's why I am so excited that we're working along together in improving that.
Well, you're making me sound better than what I really am. But we're just part of a large group of people that are developing equipment that is the very, very best.
Yes,
And more people are getting on board and
yes,
realizing, well, hang on a moment, this company's different.
yes,
This company's looking after us,
yes,
which is
yes.
which is
So that
not
for
not
me
the
is so important because you can do things with other people, but when there is this beautiful energy that you feel from someone, there's nothing like it. So when I met you and Echo and Penny, your team, that that is something that was so beautiful. I walked away saying, he is the one that I'm going to work with, and the one that's going to help all the pet parents of nurture your pet because I know you will do this for me and I'm so excited. John, where are you from?
Where am I from?
Yeah,
I was born and raised in New Zealand,
yes,
which explains my accent and maybe a bit of my outlook too, because New Zealand's not a large country, so we know people. When you see people, you say hello and how are you, whereas in countries which are more populated, you just tend to walk past and not engage. So New Zealand's a great country to grow up in. Um, yeah, that's where I'm from. I now live in China, as you know, because you came to visit us. Um, I guess I outgrew New Zealand. It's a small country. There's a limit to what you can do in a small country. If you go to a country which has got greater resources, then you can do more.
right.
And because my focus has always been on resolving people's health problems,
Mm-hmm.
then to be truly working without restrictions, I should go to a highly populated country with huge resources. So I decided to move to sunny China.
Yeah, yeah, and you made a great life there for yourself.
Yes, I came here and then I settled down and got married and got a couple of girls now. And yeah, no,
Lovely,
life's good. Life's good.
lovely. So I stumbled upon you and your amazing work, and I would love for you to explain to me how did you get introduced to, well, have you always studied this, or please a little bit of background on this whole approach of the electromagnetic field. How did you stumble upon that?
Well, I'm not approaching it from a hobbyist point of view.
Hmm.
I am a qualified engineer with university degrees in several disciplines. So I can look at things from the angle of electrics. I can look at it from the angle of biology and biological reactions to whatever fields are produced. So I've got a good overview, and I'm applying things in a way that I wasn't taught in formal education, like during the different stages of my training. We didn't talk about healing products, products that make your life more pleasurable because you're not sore, aching, products that can help your pets live healthy lives and run around like they're puppies or kittens. It's like in both school and other tertiary institutions, the focus is purely on how to work for other people.
Right.
Get your qualifications, get your job, and get your income so you can hook into the conveyor belt. So where you spend the rest of your life paying off the mortgage and ending up pushing up daisies, and that's it. And I was on the conveyor belt too, but it took the death of my grandparents and the feeling of helplessness, not having a solution for that, and other tragedies, for me to shift focus, if you like. Okay, all of a sudden I'm thinking, it's not about me and what I have, the house I have, or anything like this. It should be really me using any God-given skills I have, plus a few skills I can get from elsewhere, to help as many people as I can.
Yeah.
So from the age of 17, I shifted focus. Before then, I mean, my father, he's a radar engineer, so he was pretty smart, and he taught me a lot of things, and I sort of used a bit of that and a bit of other areas of engineering to merge it all together into finding these solutions. What I found sometimes was that the work which I had discovered through experimentation, was known knowledge. But it just wasn't common knowledge because the knowledge isn't readily available. It's easier now that we've got the internet, but back in those days we didn't have that. So I discovered important people that in the past came up with solutions, and these solutions, for whatever reason, didn't quite make it to the mainstream. And so I picked up these balls that were scattered around everywhere and changed them so that they'd be better, and then reapply them using modern technology. And Pulsed EMF is a great example of that. Now, Pulsed EMF has been around, I can't say the age of the dinosaurs, but not long after that. Pulsed EMF has been used for healing in both advanced ways and non-advanced ways. In poor towns in South Africa, they used to lie on railway lines because there'd be a magnetic field produced when the train is coming along. Of course, you've got to know when to get off the tracks,
Right.
but there'd be a current induced, and that was healing.
Right.
And in other parts of the world, they're using electric fences wound down to minimum levels to help with their health issues. Of course, these aren't optimum, but they're very interesting because they work. So you've got to investigate, why do they work? How can we make it so it's better? And Pulsed EMF is an extension from technology that's very, very well established. And fortunately, it's one of the few modalities which has been recognized by the official agencies, the health agencies of the world, and in particular America. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, Pulsed EMF, until we came on the scene, was basic pulses at fixed rates. We created programs of very sharp pulses which were optimized for cellular healing, which is both your small unit and the middle-sized unit that you have.
So when you're talking about this, the Oliver with the small mat?
That's the small mat, yes. That's a Pulsed EMF unit which you can have underneath your pet, and your pet can sleep on the mat and get the healing whenever it's there. It's a low power unit, but it's like the natural pulse of the earth. It uses the Schumann resonance to induce healing. So you don't need to choose programs. All you do is just you turn it on and leave it there. And actually, pets generally gravitate to the mat, because they love.
They do.
Yes.
They do.
And
they're in love with the product. How about
Yeah,
this one? This one is great because it has the coils that you attach and you
yes,
can be on the go with it. And it's targeted.
absolutely.
And it's targeted.
Yes. Now, this unit here is really targeted for acute conditions, injuries, where if you use that within 24 hours, then you usually find within 30 minutes the problem's just gone away. Whereas
Wow.
the small mat, the one you showed before,
Yeah.
that is for more chronic conditions,
Okay.
conditions you've tolerated for a period of time. And so
Right.
you can put that
That sounds
underneath
good.
your bed, or if you're okay, so this unit here is our portable one for the acute conditions. It's got the 3 power settings. You turn it on. It runs just off a 9-volt battery or a USB powered supply. Yeah, very, very simple unit to use.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love it. And I have to say, my doggies adore Oliver, and you'll see pictures where Ollie, I have something, when I want to get on it, he pushes me away. He pushes me
Oh,
away because he says
that's
it's his
sad.
turn. So,
Okay.
and then we have the Mac Daddy,
Yeah, the Gina. That unit
the
is
Gina.
really amazing. The
Really?
Gina can run analog
Yeah.
signals. Now, until this beauty came along, pulsed EMF was just pulses of magnetic fields. Pulsed EMF stands for pulsed electromagnetic fields. But this unit not only does regular pulsed EMF, but also does analog pulsed EMF. So now we're in the realm of audio. You can broadcast any signal, sound pattern through your cell phone, for example, through Bluetooth to the Gina. So you can run the regular healing programs that you have, or you can be adventurous and run programs that can help resolve genetic conditions or serious conditions, because only that pulsed EMF unit, only the Gina, can emulate proteins, which are the building blocks of life. Hereditary diseases are through a mutation in your genome, which in turn create damaged proteins, unusual proteins, which are expressed incorrectly and then cause major health problems. But only your Gina can correct this.
Right.
And the mat that comes with Gina
So
is
there's a
full
mat,
body.
a
It's
nice,
huge.
beautiful big mat that comes with
Yeah,
it.
you're beautiful. It's 2 meters long. So your largest Great Dane can
Yeah.
stretch out and still have room for its friend.
Oliver, I have 5 doggies, and
Yes,
when Ollie goes on it, so my big golden retriever loves it,
yes,
and
yes.
then my other beautiful, I have Bodhi and Moksha. They all hover together, and they all want a piece of the mat, and it's so cute because they lie down together, and
They'd form like an animal jigsaw, wouldn't they, when they're
yes,
lying?
yes, they love it. I've sent you and your team several photographs because we've been using these products, for over a year now. And
Yes,
and so over the year I've been sending pictures and photographs
right,
much.
right.
You know,
Hey,
like, yeah.
I've got a PowerPoint, and I think I've got your photos in there. Shall I
Please
show
go
you this
ahead.
PowerPoint?
That'll be fun.
Okay,
I'm seeing it for the first time, this PowerPoint. Interesting.
okay. This is the introduction to pulsed EMF. It's restoring your body back to optimum health. Now, when I talk about your body, it can be our body, our
Mhm.
pets' bodies. It's not really different. We've still got hearts, a circulatory system, and lymph glands and everything. There's not much difference apart from the sizes and locations of where the organs are. So when I talk about your body, it's also our pet's body. Wonder if I can move our picture to one side. Now, pulsed EMF induces microcurrents in your cells, And these microcurrents charge your cells. Just as a battery needs charging, you hook up your electric car to the power. This is doing the same for your body. Without a charge, your car may reach its destination, but you've got to go very slowly and carefully. Whereas if you recharge it fully, you can drive it normally. And it's the same with us. If our cells have got the charge, they can function normally without limping along, trying to do their task correctly.
Right.
Now, as I mentioned before, pulsed EMF is a very mature method of healing, and the FDA has cleared pulsed EMF for 5 different things. The first approval was 45 years ago for treating non-union bone fractures and for stimulating bone growth. This is where bones are broken and they're not going to fuse together again because the distance is so great or the alignment is incorrect. Now, pulsed EMF was found to allow these bones to still fuse together, find themselves and join. And if your bone has been broken, put into a cast, if you lie on a mat, or if your dog breaks a leg and it's in a cast, you put the dog on the mat, the bone knits together astonishingly fast. We're talking about 400% faster than normal. Huge amount faster. So that was done many years ago, approved for that purpose. In 1998, which is 26 years ago, it was approved for urinary incontinence and muscle stimulation. Now, both of those are soft tissue. Before it was for bones and bone growth. Now it's talking about urinary incontinence, which is nerval, and muscle stimulation, which is also for the urinary treatment. But now it's soft tissue. So we do both bone and soft tissue. And in 2004, which is 20 years ago, as an adjunct to cervical fusion surgery, they found again that after the surgery, the pulsed EMF reduced the recovery speed. And now, in 2006, it's been approved for depression and anxiety. So we've got hard tissue, soft tissue, and you've got our brain. So it's basically the whole everything. And in 2019, that's 5 years ago, cleared as an adjunctive treatment for post-operative pain. So within all these clearances, we can plainly see that pulsed EMF covers a very broad spectrum, everything you can think of with regards to maintaining health, injury recovery. Pulsed EMF is one of the best things you can do. Quite often, people use these on horses as well. They use the mat, they tie the mat to the leg of a horse. You know, when a horse breaks a bone, usually the horse is to be put down. But they found that with the aid of pulsed EMF, the horse can recover and not be in pain while doing so.
Incredible.
It's very remarkable, very remarkable.
Right.
So, okay, we've just covered the magic things that it can do. How pulsed EMF helps. Now we're going to look on the cellular level. The voltage that each of our cells has is between minus 70 to minus 100 millivolts. Its polarity is actually a negative voltage, but it's not so important, the polarity, so much as the value of 70 to 100. Now, as we age, the voltage goes down. As we stress, let's say life isn't giving you a silver spoon and you've got problems on your shoulders, well, that can also reduce the cellular voltage of your body. Poor diet and the environment, well, they're a given, aren't they? I mean, look at the ill health that people have now with the rollout of 5G and everything being hydrophonically grown and artificial flavorings and colorings and petroleum-based foods. It's just a quagmire of disaster out there. So all of these things reduce your cellular voltage. Now, if your voltage drops to 50 to 30 millivolts, you are likely to suffer from a chronic illness. And if it drops down to the region of 15 to 20 millivolts, that's when the ugly head of cancer steps in. Now, pulsed EMF raises the potential of your cells, making it harder for the nasty conditions to get a foothold. So it can be used as a preventative as well as a remedial type of modality.
It's true. It's true.
And
I
it's
use
always
it on
best.
myself, and it's helped me so much in my life.
Yeah, it's so much better to put out a spark than to put out a bushfire.
Yeah.
So much better.
I love that concept. Preventative, the best.
So pulsed EMF can target your body, all your body, your bones, your marrow, your soft tissue outside the bones, and even your brain, emotions, everything like this, positively. So your latent quality of life, your latent energy, your basal energy is raised. So you can live life how you should live life.
Perfect. And this applies for all our pets and animals, not just humans.
Oh, absolutely. Again, they've got bodies, they've got bones, they've got nerves, they've got feelings, they've got love, they've got stress. There is absolutely no difference. It surprises me when I talk to some people about how devices can help. They naturally assume I'm thinking about humans, but I'm not. I'm thinking about living beings. I mean, even plants, for goodness sake, plants love pulsed EMF. You know, anything that's life and has cells benefits from pulsed EMF. So even plants, I mean, everyone knows that plants grow enormously fast in the presence of a pulsed EMF food.
Yeah.
Even these high voltage transformers, they're overgrown with weeds and they wrap themselves around the transformer. They just love the EMF and pulsed EMF in particular because that's more healing.
Right.
Now, pulsed EMF really got serious when NASA were making plans to send men on the moon. But the NASA were thinking, well, there's not many doctors on the moon. So we've got a problem if any of our astronauts break a bone or have some tissue injury. So what can we do? So they, as part of their personnel repair kit, they developed a pulsed EMF device, which they optimized so that it was simple to use. The astronaut places the coil over their injury and the injury heals. And in fact, the smallest unit that you have, the Gina, not the Gina, which one is it? The small one?
Yeah, it's the Gina. Nico.
Nico. Yeah, the beautiful Nico. That was modeled on the pattern of the magnetic field sent to the coils of the astronauts.
Wow. So these are the coils.
So if it's good enough for astronauts, it's good enough for our pets, right? And good enough for us.
Absolutely. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So for neural tissue, nerves grow very slowly, and often they don't grow at all, which is, when people get paralyzed, which is terrible. But the growth of nerve cells increases between the lowest is 250% increase. Like 100% increase means twice the rate. Here it's 250% up to an astonishing 400% increase in growth rate. It's the difference in the growth rate between an oak tree and bamboo. It's like, wow, it's out there. So pulsed EMF is a real thing. It's a real thing. Which is why, I guess, why lots of people are jumping on the bandwagon. and realizing that pulsed EMF is an amazing
Look
way
at the
of
health
treating
benefits.
things.
It's
I
incredible.
know, I know. And these health
Incredible.
benefits are for pets, for humans. There's no divide between us. And unfortunately, pets, they find it hard to communicate with humans.
Exactly.
Only people that are very, very close to their pets will know when their pet has a headache, for example.
Yeah.
Some
Yeah.
things are not so difficult to see, like if their animal is stressed, but for headaches or depression,
Correct.
only a real loving. I even hesitate to say pet owner because pets aren't owned; they're
No.
part of the family.
Yeah.
I
So we
I
call
I, I
them
stro-
pet parents or pet guardians. That's the
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
words we use.
Well,
Pet parents or
okay.
pet
Well,
guardians.
if you don't draw me over the coals over there, I'd like to use that term from now on because
Yes, we use that pet parents or pet
yeah,
guardians.
guardians.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's no way people can own a life.
Exactly.
No.
John, you're spot on with that. So I think they're canceling that word now.
Oh, good.
They're
Let's hope they
canceling
don't
that
say
word.
it's
Yeah,
woke or
I
something
read
stupid like
about it
that.
that they've
But
decided to
it,
cancel that word, which is
yeah,
wonderful.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like I mean, we've got a cat that we are caring for. She lost an eye and was
Oh,
abandoned because she looked pretty ugly. Beautiful cat, but by beautiful, I talk about the real measure of beauty, inside. Even
right.
in pain, I could feel her pain. It was just so terrible. Her eye was swollen, the one that she eventually lost, and she was really in a bad state. I picked her up, and she started purring straight away. And I thought, yeah, we've got a new family member. you know, she's a stayer. So she spent some time at the vet. They tried to save the eye, but weren't successful. And now she's back home acclimatizing to the area. And this weekend we'll be letting her go free. She's still got a collar on those because we're wary that she might scratch the stitching, which covered, for her eye that they had to remove. It's a sad story, but it's kind of a good story because she's a loved member of the family. She is not a pet.
Oh, oh, they are family members. They come to your home, and you know what, John? I'm telling you, I'm meeting the most incredible people who consistently explain to me how not they don't need to explain it to me because I see it. I believe they are spiritually evolved, very spiritually evolved, and they come
Yes,
into my home and they teach me so many lessons. They
yes,
heal
yes,
me and they teach me so many lessons.
right. I'm not sure whether I mean, you can cut parts of this video out, but this is the raw me. I am a Buddhist, and I believe that animals may have been people in their past lives who may have been, had obstacles or part of their learning path.
Mm-hmm.
They are now back as an animal.
Mm-hmm.
So I respect all animals. An
Oh,
animal at one life might have been my parent or my offspring. I
you
just
never
don't
know.
know.
You never know.
So I do love
Absolutely.
animals and I love life. But you can cut that out if you like. That's the raw me anyway.
Mhm.
Yeah, at the beginning you're saying how wonderful I was, but I'm not. And ego is a very dangerous thing. I'm like anybody else, but I'm super focused, and that way maybe I'm a little bit different. But I am super focused.
Mm.
But I'm also inclusive. I work with people. I don't try and puff myself up and make myself
No,
number one.
you never did that. Never.
No.
I never felt that with you, but I did I did express here that I didn't even go into your qualifications, you know. I
Well,
I
that's
wanted
good.
to I wanted to let people know what a wonderful human being you are, and that meant a lot to me when I saw you, Echo, Penny, your whole team was just so wonderful. And that's what we want.
As I was doing my years in university and other institutions, I saw a direct correlation between the number of letters someone has after their name and their level of arrogance. I mean, generally, the people that I was rubbing shoulders with, And so I made a considered effort just to come clean and just say, look, I do know some things, but why do people need to know? Now, I've got 4 different degrees, but why do people need to know? Whereas what's more important is how I can serve other people and animals.
Thank
How I
you
can
for
serve.
that.
This
That's
what I'm
powerful.
here for.
Thank you, John. That's powerful. That's powerful what you just said, because we are shifting. There's a shift going on now with humanity, and we are, thank God, realizing that all that what we or our uh, parents and grandparents wanted in life, this new generation doesn't want that. This new generation doesn't feel the need to possess so much material wealth. This generation wants love and peace and kindness, and I'm
Right.
seeing that it's growing. It's growing.
Good.
There's
Good.
definitely that vibrational shift, and
Right.
medicine too. And that's why the people are slowly getting interested in an integrated or completely holistic approach.
I love your positive outlook, and I hope you're right. I really hope you're right.
So that's what Nurture Your Pet is all about. By the way, John, I didn't share something with you. I forgot. Nurture Your Pet, NYP, stands for, with the hands, nurture your pet. But it also stands for nurture your planet and nurture your path. So we are growing now into expanding, and I knew this was what I wanted, but I could only start with one thing at a time, which was pets. But I knew, so I that part of the company is there already. It's registered, and we have all that. But slowly, I also want to get into nurturing the planet, the environment we all live in, and nurturing our path, which is you're a Buddhist. I'm very spiritual. I don't I'm not a religious person. I respect everyone's religion, but I'm more into the spiritual, so the yoga and the meditation and all that.
Right.
And our path is so important, because what is our purpose? And today this is what we want. We want to be happy, and we want to live a purposeful life. And that's what you are. That's what you're doing with all your incredible work,
Anyway, moving on.
Moving on.
Moving on. Okay, so we've got people or pets with migraines, insomnia, stress, anxiety, and phobias. Normally, they find quite a large reduction in those symptoms after using Pulsed EMF. Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, and stroke patients. Joint pains, arthritis, which a lot of pets get as they get older. It's sad when dogs aren't so bouncy and they tend to sit down and just sleep all day.
I'm dealing with 2 senior citizens right now, and it's very painful. One is almost into the geriatric stage, and it's very painful to see him suffer. But he loves the mat. He seeks so much joy when I use the mat on him, with the Gina and the Nico, and I've sent you pictures and you've seen him.
Yes.
On it. Yeah.
So, Pulsed EMF does all these things. It's basically anything that your pet may need is there. So it's wonderful. So a pet's entire body is like our body. It's electrochemical, and it can be influenced effectively and gently by low and safe levels of electromagnetic frequencies. And these signals pass through all your tissues. They're not blocked by bone. So it's a very good way of treating the whole animal. Just put the mat down. They'll find the mat, lie down, and make it their home.
Right.
Throw the anchor out,
right.
as you've discovered.
Yeah.
And all these things, relieving pain, decreasing inflammation, and accelerate healing. Well, all these things and so much more, Pulsed EMF can help.
Yeah.
So these are a few testimonials. This family got hurt in an accident, and now the dog has a damaged back, or due to an accident, is a pup. And after Pulsed EMF, he's happier, and of
Wow.
course, the dog's family is happy too. And another person, their teenagers used it for a sprained ankle and a sore back.
Mhm.
And they can all feel it pulsing. Normally, you can't feel the Pulsed EMF pulsing, but these people can.
Nice.
And it's relieved sprains and strains even after just one use. So this is acute.
Mhm.
And their elderly dog recently had an accident and fractured her pelvis. So that's quite a massive injury.
That's huge.
And since that time, her mobility hasn't been the same. So they're going to put in the Pulsed EMF mat and sneak it under her and use it. It's wonderful.
There's,
Now, are those your dogs or are
yes,
they
the
someone
big one is
else's?
my Oliver, and he's lying
Oh,
down on the Gina. Gina
yes.
is my little Yorkie who moved on. She
Oh,
is the one that propelled me and really got me curious about
yeah.
a field out there where
Yes.
an electromagnetic field, because I missed her so much and I learned she didn't go anywhere. She's still part of this energy. So it's because
Wow.
of her that I'm on this journey with Nurture Your Pet. So I dedicated this beautiful, incredible McDaddy to Gina. And Oliver is Ollie. He's lying down and he just adores it.
Right. I've got a question.
Yes.
Why is Oliver lying down on Gina's mat and Gina is lying down on Oliver's mat?
I know it's why is Oliver lying down on Gina's
Because you've
mat?
because
And that's not
Gina.
Gina. That's
Oh,
Nico. Nico was
I'm
the
so sorry.
partner of Gina, and that's my
Oh,
little Nico. And they
oh,
absolutely adore these mats. And so I put the little one for him. But Oliver sometimes pushes Nico away and wants it all for himself. So
yeah.
so that's Nico, my little Yorkie, on this mat called Oliver.
Right, right. Okay. Beautiful, beautiful
That's,
dogs.
yeah, it's called Oliver, but Nico's on it. And
Yes,
this is
yes.
Gina, who is the one who I dedicate all these products
Okay.
to because of her.
Right.
Oh, so this is beautiful. Do you want to know
Yes,
who he is?
I'd love to know who they are. Actually, the cat looks like my little kitten. Same colouring.
Imagine,
Was that
right?
is that yours?
No,
Or
this is
okay.
not my
Yeah, it
cat.
looks
I thought it was
yeah.
yours. Yeah.
No, but it looks like her. But it's
So
a smaller version.
yeah,
Our
gorgeous,
our one is
gorgeous.
yeah.
So my little one who's using Nico right now,
Mm.
he is a rescue from the hills of Hong Kong, and I call him
Mm.
my beautiful Hong Kong special. And he was just a little baby when he got rescued, came to us, totally flea infested. And I looked at him and I looked into his eyes. And I'm not a Buddhist, but something said to me, call him Bodhi. So he's my little Bodhi.
Wow.
Bodhi. Yeah, the enlightened one.
He looks very contemplative, doesn't he? As he's
He is. He's very he is. He's very but he's incredible. We all love him so much because he has a very incredible mm, disposition and when you look into his eyes, I mean all pets are different, but yeah, that's Bodhi. And you know what who Bodhi is.
yes, yes. So that's the presentation. That's oops, stop share. So that's
Yeah.
how Pulse DMF can help. Well,
Thank you
Yeah.
so much. I don't want to take a lot of your time. I know you are always busy with your work. I really appreciate that you've come out to help explain our products. I love the fact that you have explained each one of them, how they function. And of course, there's more, um, you know, what do you call paperwork that I also will put out for everyone that wants to know more. But what you've done
Right.
is you've done a lot. You've explained it so gently and so calmly. And if anyone wants to go in detail, I have that about the electromagnetic field. But I thought it's a good idea that you didn't go into too much technicality and the
Right.
science and
Right.
all because people get confused. And I thank you so much. Is there anything else that you want to tell pet parents?
Well, I
Or
mean,
you or pet
anyone.
or regarding themselves or their animals?
Yes. Well, of all the modalities of treating, all the ways of treating problems for both yourself and the four-legged family members, Pulsed EMF is probably the most convenient because you can lay it down for your family member and they can sit down, as Oliver's found out, and they're self-treating.
Very.
And they can, animals are very connected to their body. They know, they can feel things that we probably used to know, thousands of years ago, but it's
Yeah.
become lost
Yeah.
all the, as our brains grew bigger and everything else, everything
Yeah.
became so complicated and became disconnected, disjointed from our bodies in some ways. So
Yeah.
pulsed TMF is a very simple way and very effective way of treating just about anything.
Right.
So it's
I'm
highly
so
recommended.
excited. I'm so excited to launch our products and for everyone to benefit themselves, their pets, and even
Mm.
maybe their trees. You know, people that have grow grow apples or whatever, their orchards. But I want to say, John, thank you. Thank you for this, and thank you for all the support you've given me. And I really am very, very grateful to you. Thank
Well,
you.
it's been lovely talking to you. God bless
Thank
you.
Thank you.